How do you let your girlfriend know her private part has an odor? That might require additional maintenance without embarrassing her. Story 1. If it's a new problem, tell her I don't mean to embarrass you, but am concerned about you. I heard that if there is a significant change of odor, it could mean that it could be something health related. Maybe you should check with your gyno. If it's lack of hygiene, then she will more than likely change that after hearing that. But she could have something needing medical attention. Story 2. Funny story. I actually diagnosed BV with my mouth and nose one time. I'm a nurse, but you definitely don't need a degree to know when something's off. She had this milky white discharge down there, and did not smell good. She had good hygiene, but she'd had that issue for so long that she just accepted it as her natural odor. When I talked to her about it, she just insisted that it's just her natural smell. Eventually, I had to straight up tell her, listen, I've been around a lot of private parts both in the medical field and out of. That is not a natural smell. You should see your GYN because I think you have an infection. Finally, she relented, and lo and behold, she had BV. Once it was treated and gone, she said it was weird that her smell was gone and that it smelled like nothing now. I just wonder how long she had this. For that, she assumed it was completely normal. Use the word different and come from a place of concern and care. Hey babe, I know this is kind of an embarrassing topic and I'm sorry for that, but I've noticed you smell different than your usual down there and I wanted to make sure you were aware of it. Is there anything I can do to help? Go buy something you need? Take you to an appointment? It's likely something she'll have to deal with herself, but the thought counts. Once people get past the initial embarrassment feeling, they usually just appreciate your honesty. Story 4. Hey hun, I was just wondering if you've used a different soap for down below. I'm just asking because I've noticed that the smell is different. Not bad or anything, but I'm concerned maybe you could be developing a yeast or bladder infection. Coming from a concerned and caring place will come across kinder and maybe easier to approach or to hear in that way. Also, if it's not hygiene as before mentioned in comments, could very well be a pH balance thing, a diet thing, or even new laundry detergent that the area isn't really reacting to well. Story 5. One day, she went from smelling perfectly normal to, frankly, terrible. I was pretty blunt about it, but I just said, hey, I noticed that your smell has been a little different the last day or two. Do you think it's something we should get checked at? Because it was so abrupt, or did you change up something recently? Turns out she had noticed it too, but was embarrassed to ask me if she was hallucinating it or not. She has tried a new soap, and so she switched back to her old one and it was gone within a day. Don't make a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. It's not that she's disgusting. It's just something that you're concerned about that should probably be addressed. However, she feels comfortable doing so. I've had to do this before. It was a tough conversation. I brought up like, hey, this is gonna be embarrassing, but you would want to tell me if I have bad breath because you love me. I proceeded to tell her that her area smelled yeasty, kinda like an opened can of refried beans. She was naturally mortified and went to the doctor that week. The doctor explained it's a bacteria down there that created the smell. She bought a special soap that took care of the smell. Our bodily smells are completely natural and not off the table. It's romantic to smell nice for your partner. Best of luck breaking the news. Story 7. Every V has an odor. I don't care you think your V smells like roses. Every V has an odor, it smells like pee. And it can be unpleasant if you're not into musky scents. Or just plain unpleasant BC there's odor at all, but even minute changes in pH change the smell. Now there's a certain point where a certain smell, particularly a very fishy smell, indicates bacteria in the V. If it's a hygiene issue, it will smell less like a fish odor and more of a sweat, musk/bow. Scents also change based on discharge. Every V has V discharge, some more than others. If the discharge is clear, it's fine. But if you look in her underwear and it's milky, white discharge, that usually happens from a yeast infection, but not always. It can just be an overproduction of yeast in the V. This also has a scent. It may even smell like musky bread in that case. Odor can also be caused if you guys go raw without condoms and she gets bacteria from you. How close, how far away she is from her period can also change an odor. As usually more discharge is produced. To make a long story short, odor is caused by many reasons. Not just purely hygienic, but if it is smelling fishy or potentially like rotten meat of a sort, it's more than likely that it's just some bacteria. I would not recommend she use V cleansers like douching or Summer's Eve or whatever. BC the V is a cell cleaning organ. It gets rid of stuff itself, and there's healthy bacteria in the V that may be killed off by using V soaps. This will cause more odor, which will make it seem like she needs to use the soap more. Water and water-based lubes only for best results. If you're concerned about how to tell her, sit down with her and tell her like, hey, we're honest with each other, right? I would want someone to tell me this if it were occurring to me, because I read online it could indicate some health concerns. Really stress the point that it's less about how she smells, but that you're more concerned for her health before bringing up that you have noticed an odor. Doing it this way will reduce any shame felt on her part for smelling bad, and she will probably be less likely to get defensive and take your concern more seriously than just saying like your V has an odor. Story 8. It can be a sensitive and delicate issue to discuss with your partner. However, communication is crucial for maintaining a healthy and happy relationship. Here are some tips to approach the situation. Be gentle and understanding. Approach the topic with care and respect, and assure her that you're not trying to make her feel embarrassed or ashamed. Choose the right time and place. Avoid discussing the topic in a public or crowded place, and choose a time when both of you are relaxed and comfortable. Use I statements instead of you statements. Instead of saying you have an odor, try saying I noticed a different smell and I wanted to make sure everything is okay. Suggest solutions together, rather than making it seem like it's solely her problem. Offer to support her in finding solutions together, such as going to the doctor or trying different hygiene products. Be supportive and understanding. Remember that everyone's body is different, and there may be underlying medical or hormonal reasons for the odor. Be patient and supportive in finding a solution that works for both of you. Overall, approaching the topic with sensitivity, empathy, and a willingness to find solutions together can help you have a productive and respectful conversation with your partner. Story 9. My BF told me a few times that I had bad breath. It kind of hurt for sure, but I also appreciate the honesty. If you're coming from a kind place like you're trying to help, and not to shame her, she will understand. Also, bad odor down there can be a sign of a yeast or bacterial infection. It's totally normal, and there are ways to test for it and get treated. This is just my dissent for you guys to also understand. It's not only about cleanliness or grooming. Also, V douches are an absolute no-no. UGF should only clean her vulva, not inside her V. If she douches, it will only make problems worse.